We will now hear a speech from Sensei Eugene Imai.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. And I'm very happy to join you to celebrate the Hollywood Center's 42nd anniversary. On May 15th, 1979, the Scroll of Light was enshrined in the presence of Kaishu-sama and Mikoto-sama right here in this sanctuary of the Hollywood Center, a different scroll. Hollywood Center is the birthplace of Shumei America, where Meishu-sama's light and love began spreading throughout the Western world. It was a glorious and joyous sacred event for which I'm ever grateful. But compared with the magnitude of the spiritual profundity and importance of Shumei's current presence in the US, Shumei America was literally just a newborn baby at that time. Looking back to ponder what happened and how it all happened, I can say it was like a dream. Many things happened one after another without any goal setting or planning. I would have wanted to say, wait a minute, what is going on? Where are we going? So the things are happening and I have to follow. I'm sure you have had similar experiences in your lives, haven't you? Maybe all the time. The theme of this year's anniversary celebration is gratitude for new beginnings. Today, I'd like to talk about how to welcome new beginnings in our lives in a meaningful way. After my arrival in Los Angeles in September 11th, 1975, my immediate goal was to finish graduate school and to establish the legal status of Shumei America as a nonprofit organization from which I could obtain a visa to stay in this country. There was one elder Chinese lady member, Kongwa Kam. She's from Toisan in Los Angeles, who took care of me like her son. Even before finishing graduate school in Houston, Texas, Akam suddenly got a crazy idea and suggested that we create a home center in the house of one of her son-in-laws by using his living room as a sanctuary. Looking back now, I think it is Meishu-sama who gave this crazy idea to Akem. Anyway, I said to her, no, Akem, it is too early because I have not yet finished my school and we don't have any members. To make a long story short, to my big surprise, my boss, Mikoto-sama, said it's a good idea. And he agreed to bring a scroll from Japan to set up a center. Within the 6 months since the initial conversation, a first home center was created in Monterey Park. And I'm very grateful for that. I couldn't believe it all happened so fast. But this joy lasted only 3 months. I was in Houston, still working for my graduation. I received a news. We were asked to leave the house because we are making too much noise every Sunday. So we needed to find another place for the scroll. To make another long story short, Meishu-sama guided to find a suitable house, which happened to be this house. At first, I thought this house was way too big for our group. But Mikoto-sama felt this is it without even seeing this house himself. Nobody knew that this house was such a historical structure until many years later. Do you know that this house is now listed as one of 111 places in Los Angeles that you must not miss? This house in this book. It is true that when God closes one door, then he opens another door. Are you familiar with this? But 5 years after the happy grand opening of the Hollywood Center, my mentor, my boss, Mikoto-sama, suddenly left the physical world. He was only 48 years old. His premature departure saddened his mother, Kaishu-sama, greatly, while the entire Shumei organization was severely challenged. As for me, since the beginning of my work in America, I was constantly receiving guidance from Mikoto-sama. But now, no more. Instead, a new beginning without him had started. I soon realized I was depending too much on my physical connection with him. So after recovering from the initial shock, I began to view it as a chance to grow up and start relying more on myself, assuring my spiritual bond with Mikoto-sama was intact. I tried to become like him by getting out of a box of Eugene, more curious, more energetic, more passionate, more expressive, my feelings, more adventurous and stronger. Simply, I became more American. The tragedy of losing someone important in your life can strengthen us if we handle it right. The following year, in 1985, Kaishu-sama and Kaicho Sensei started visiting the US every year and offered us their loving care and strong guidance. We were so incredibly fortunate. This was the beginning of my second chapter in America. At the same time, Alan Sensei arrived and served as my associate. And I found my most important life partner, Jane. These two people stood by my side all these years to help build Shumei America. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jane. Then the Seagulls program started, where young Japanese members visited our neighbors door to door, offering jorei. Their pure and youthful passion touched many people and brought them to the Hollywood Center. Shumei America started growing rapidly and became rich with diversified people many races and religions and talents. In our lives, there were many successes and failures, unexpected joys and sorrows, planned celebrations and unplanned tragedies. They all happen, whether we are ready or not, and whether we like it or not. Everything is happening according to universal law. The best we can do is to accept and appreciate with gratitude as a blessings, knowing that everything is helping us to learn and grow. Each day starts in the morning and ends at night. Winter ends the harvest season, and spring starts a new cycle of life. Babies are welcomed with joy, and death is mourned with sadness. All happens for a reason, and nothing occurs by accident. Here is the Meishu-sama's words. God gives each individual a unique mission in this world. He gives them special characteristics and special talents. He gives them physical existence and takes it away again. He makes us all move ever forward toward the ideal object of eternity. Good and evil, war and peace, destruction and creation. All of these are processes necessary for this ongoing evolution. I like these words very much. They help me to remain peaceful, knowing that everything is happening according to God's grand design. In Shumei, we care for and support each other in learning how to welcome new beginnings in our lives, especially challenging and difficult ones. Meishu-sama's teachings, Jōrei, and natural agriculture are very powerful tools to assist us going through. But our human loving care plays a big role. When someone is going through difficult times with purification, our love and light coming out of our inner divine self touches and uplifts him or her. Because I have been touched by the kindness and loving care of many people, I now enjoy so much to help you and many others. As we celebrate the newly renovated Hollywood Center's new beginning today, let us recommit our service to others by enhancing our inner divine self. Now I'd like to end my speech with a special video of a long-time Hollywood member, Kilborn Craddock. I interviewed the other day, and he is experiencing one of the most serious purification. And his words are very inspiring. So I'd like to share it with you. I got his permission. Thank you, Kilborn. Let's watch.
February of this year, 2021, I was diagnosed with a very serious purification,
Yes.
a life-threatening purification.
Oh.
And my doctor called me in, and those were the words he used. He said, you've got this illness, and you need to be aware of it. And he was rather surprised. I was rather surprised myself when he told me, you've got this illness, it's a life-threatening illness,
Right.
and you're going to need to deal with it. And I thought, the very first thought that came into my head was, I'm 68 years old. I've had a very good life. Whatever happens from now on, nothing can take that away from me.
Right.
And I remember your discussion about the 5 stages of purification. The first being denial, the second anger, then the third acceptance, the fourth introspection, and the fifth transformation. Okay, so I skipped 1 and 2. I bypassed 1 and 2. I went directly to 3.
Wow.
Acceptance.
Wonderful.
But then, and my doctor was even surprised. He put it in his notes. Patient took news very well.
Oh.
Why did I react that way? And then, your number 4 is introspection.
Right.
Well, I thought about it. I thought, okay, why am I thinking like this? Okay, so I've had a good life, 67 years, very blessed, then I got to thinking, half of that life, just about half of it, if you do the math, about half of that, and it's this half, involved shumei.
33 years.
I received it's actually going to be 32 this year.
Yeah, half.
But that's 32 years of my life, and the second half of it, shumei. Well, shumei is all about gratitude. And I don't mean to say that I was not grateful for things. I was grateful, always grateful for blessings that I received. But shumei really brought it home. Shumei, I think the basis for Meishu Sama's teachings is whatever you do, wherever you are, however you lead your life, whatever you do for others, however you give jorei and pass happiness on, be grateful. During this treatment period, which was rather brutal, I accepted Kaiser's invitation to have an apartment near the treatment center so that I didn't have to go back and forth.
During the month of March?
This was March and April.
March and April.
Last 2 weeks of March, the whole month of April. And you and Leo, as you know, thank you God for you, thank you Meishu Sama, thank you Eugene Sensei and Leo. You were you buoyed me. You were like, it was like a life preserver. If I'd fallen off a ship and I was floundering about the ocean, you were there to lift me up through the whole thing. One of the ways you did that, of course through jorei, but through nutrition. And you brought me who knew that you were an expert on things like baby food. Remember the day you brought me some, it was a combination of kombucha, squash, and carrots. And it was like suitable for a baby,
right.
Which is what I kind of was during that thing. It was so good. And I just knew, this is so good for me. So good. And then your fava bean soup.
Fava bean soup.
Yeah.
That's a Junzo's.
How do you came over too one day.
Junzo's fava bean.
Yeah. Which I love. I love.
And then also the beets.
The beets.
Oh,
the beets. Oh. You did something else too. You did, I don't remember. But as a result of, I mean, I will. It's not like I'm going to forget. I just can't bring it to mind right now. But and Leo cooked for me, and Haru taught me how to do lettuce and snap peas. So easy, but so good. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just the kind of thing. I know this is good for me. I know this is good for me. So anyway, one of the benefits of this treatment
Yeah.
was that you were there every day, or not every day. You came when you could, and Leo came the rest of the time, and we were able to talk. We were able to converse.
Right. So this is.
And that's when you told me about your gratitude to your body. And I asked you. I said, okay, I'll thank my body, but what do I say to the purification
part.
And you said, do you remember what you said?
I forgot how.
You said, thank the purification too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I kind of laughed out loud at that. I was like, what? Thank the purification? But then here we are in the introspection. I started to think about that, and I started thinking about the good things that occurred because of this purification. And there are a lot of things. I'm great, looking back on it at now, so many blessings because of this purification. Thank the purification for learning more about myself and learning more about how resilient I am, and learning how I'm rather proud of myself for educating myself on this purification and the treatment, the way to deal with it, and the way to deal with dealing with it, if you know what I mean. How knowing in advance what to expect, knowing in advance what the side effects of this awful treatment was going to be. Now, another thing, I'm grateful to. I don't know who to be grateful for on this one. I'm gonna credit Shumei for this. Okay, I'm gonna credit you. I'm gonna credit Leo.
Yeah.
Haru. My reaction to the treatment was far less severe than most people. So your idea to thank the purification was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful advice.
Yes.
And it's like it would have been better if it had never happened, but because it did, we have an expression. I'm sure you have it in Japanese too. I don't know the equivalent, but we say every cloud has a silver lining. So every
beautiful.
every bit of bad news has it's your philosophy exactly.
Yeah.
Every bit of even bad news has a glimmer of silver around it somehow.
Right.
You just need to find it. I didn't have to look far. But my gratitude, my gratitude extended all the way back to as soon as I learned to say thank you when I was a little kid. I mean, expressing gratitude, but it really hit home when I joined Shumei, because gratitude is what Shumei is all about, basically. I mean, Jorei, natural agriculture, appreciation of art and nature, but the important thing is to be grateful. And, I really credit Shumei with never letting me forget. That's one of the major aspects of Meishu-sama's philosophy. And it was always, and you never let us forget either. You always remind us, be grateful.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you remember this, but one day, it was here at Hollywood, you were conducting a monthly sampai. And I don't remember, you in your speech, I think you were talking about gratitude. I'm not sure, I don't remember. I just remember this. I remember you said, I want you all to think about how Shumei has changed your life. And so I don't remember why. I had to get up and make an announcement or something, but I said, Eugene Sensei, I just wanted to let you know, you wanted to know how Shumei has changed my life?
Yeah.
It's changed my life in every way.
Every way.
I mean, really, when I think about it, when I wonder now, I kind of get a little nervous when I think about what would have happened. Where would I be right now? What would my life be like if I hadn't asked Greg,
Great.
my seagull, my spiritual father, to come in and give me a prayer? What if I had said, "Oh no, thank you"? And where would I be right now?
Right.
I don't think I'd be sitting here.
Yeah.
So, I'm grateful. My Shumei gratitude goes all the way back to him.